So here we started Jenkins here. Now Jenkins is up and running. I'll just go to Jenkins UI. So okay, so now we are having master slave configuration is pending from our end. So here for master slave configuration, we have to do some configuration changes. So that is so these are the steps we have to follow. For master slave configuration, we need two instances. One is for master instance, another for slave instance, and we have to copy the slave machine private key into the master machine. Then after copying this key, you have to do some configuration changes from the UI. Okay, if you see in the UI, what we have to do is we have to go to manage Jenkins, manage nodes. We are having manage nodes here. So here we have to go to new node. We have to create new node, and here we have to do some configurations. So after while creating a new node, we have to copy the private key of slave server in our Jenkins master server. Okay, so it will take around 30 to 40 minutes. So what I am trying to do is I will make a separate video for this because these are the only configuration changes. We have to do the configuration changes. So it will take 30 to 40 minutes. I will make another video for this master slave configuration. Okay, so just follow that video. As of now, we completed most of the topics from Jenkins. Today, we will see the Jenkins interview questions. Okay, so much of the topics we completed from the Jenkins. So here I have some of the interview questions from for Jenkins. So if you have any doubts here, please ask. If you have any doubts on the Jenkins, ask now only. It will be helpful. So if you see the Jenkins interview questions here, the first question from the Jenkins will be what is a CI/CD? What is a CI/CD? Can you answer any one of you? Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir.
సార్ వినిపిస్తుందా?
Yes, sir.
వినిపిస్తుంది.
ఆ, చెప్తారా వాట్ ఈస్ సిఐసిడి అంటే? So CICD is nothing but continuous integration and continuous deployment. Okay, continuous integration and continuous deployment. So here, what is continuous integration means? So we already discussed in the previous classes. What is the role of Jenkins here? What the Jenkins will do? Jenkins is going to manage the different operations in our software development life cycle. What are the operations Jenkins is going to maintain? So Jenkins is going to pull the code from the GitHub. Okay, Jenkins is going to pull the code from the GitHub, and it will perform the build operation, and it will perform testing operation. Okay, that is if the build is success, it is going to perform testing operation. If in the testing operation, if we found any bugs, okay, in the testing operation, if we found any bugs, that bugs information will be given to the respective developers through email notifications. Okay, what the Jenkins will do is the bugs information will be given to the developers. Okay, developers through the email notifications. So after getting the bugs information, developers are going to work on the bugs, and again the developers will push the modified code into the GitHub. Whenever the developers push the modified code into the GitHub, Jenkins again pull the code, and it will perform all the operations. Means it is going to perform build operation, it is going to perform testing operation. All these operations it will repeat. This is the repetition process. Okay, this is the continuous process, and this total process is known as continuous integration. Okay, this total process is known as continuous integration here. So continuous deployment means whenever this process is a success, that is if the testing operation also success, and if we found what are the code modifications we are having, these code modifications are up to date, and this code is going to be deployed into the deployment servers. Okay, this code will be continuously deployed into the deployment server. So this total process is known as continuous integration and continuous deployment. Okay. Any doubts here? So this is one of the important interview question you are going to get in your interview. Okay, CI/CD is nothing but continuous integration and continuous deployment. So then you are going to get another question as which CI tool you are using. Which CI tool you are using? CI means continuous integration tool you are using. So here we are having different types of continuous integration tools like Jenkins, and we have TeamCity and Bamboo. So like we are having different types of continuous integration tools. So out of this, Jenkins is very popular continuous integration tool. Okay, you can say these are the tools we are having for continuous integration. But I am working on Jenkins like that. Okay, only the functionality will be same. Okay, functionality will be same in all the continuous integration tools. Then the next question will be what are the different tools, that is what are the different which CI tool you are using. Okay, what are the okay, here you have to answer Jenkins, which is CI tool means Jenkins, and what are the different tools means you can answer all these things. These are the different tools we are having for a continuous integration. Then we will ask which type of jobs you configured, which type of projects. Jobs are nothing but projects here. Okay, which type of projects you configured. So, can you tell what are the different types of projects we are having in Jenkins?
Freestyle project,
Yeah, we are having a freestyle
pipeline
project,
project,
and pipeline project. Then we are having Maven project. Okay, so these are the popular projects. So we are going to configure in real time. Okay, so mostly we are going to configure a Maven project and pipeline project. Like that. Okay, so again we are having different types like multi branch configuration project is there, folder project is there, GitHub organization project is there. Okay, these are rarely used. Okay, these projects will be rarely used. In most of the cases, we are going to use Maven project, pipeline project, and freestyle project only.
freestyle.
Okay. Then they are going to ask what is the difference between these projects. What is a freestyle project? What is a pipeline project? What is a Maven project? So, what is freestyle project? The freestyle project is the basic project we are having, basic type of job configuration we are having in Jenkins. So it is having only limited functionalities. Freestyle project is having only limited functionalities, and and then coming to the pipeline project, with the help of a pipeline project, we can create total pipeline, end-to-end pipeline for our software development lifecycle. So pipeline includes getting the code from the GitHub and performing the build operation and performing the testing operation, and then performing the clean operation, then performing the deployment operation. Total, what are the operations we require in our software development life cycle? We can create a pipeline by using this pipeline project. Okay, so if we have pipeline, it is going to introduce automation in our project. Okay, pipeline project is going to provide automation. Automation means, so here in the pipeline project, we are not going to trigger each and individual jobs. Okay, so here whenever we are going to trigger only, that is first job, first project we are going to trigger, and the remaining projects or remaining jobs will be triggered automatically. Okay, so even another type of automation here is if you configure a build automatically or police like that automation scheduling techniques, then it is going to provide full automation for our pipeline project. Okay, so that is a pipeline project. Pipeline project is having more functionalities. Okay, more advantages compared to a freestyle project. Then they will ask what is Maven project. What is Maven project? So Maven project, we need Maven software to be installed in our Jenkins server. Okay, we have to install Maven software, and we can use Maven as a build automation tool for our projects. Okay, we can use Maven as build automation tool. So build automation means we can build our project by using Maven. Okay, if our project is a Java project, we are going to use Maven as build automation tool. So Maven for Java projects, we are going to use Maven projects. Okay, if our code is Java code, if our code is Java code, we can use Maven project here. So these are the different types of projects. You have to explain all these types of projects in detail. Then they will ask another question we will get is what are the different types of pipelines? Okay, what are the different types of pipelines? Can you tell what are the different types of pipelines we are having?
Scripted declared,
Scripted pipeline, scripted pipeline and declarative. Scripted and declarative pipelines we are having. So then, what is the difference between scripted and declarative pipeline? They will ask like that, and they will ask syntax also. What is the syntax of a declarative pipeline? What is the syntax of a scripted pipeline? And can you tell the different steps involved in a declarative pipeline? Okay, like that they will ask. So, what are the steps we have to follow in the declarative pipeline or scripted pipeline? The declarative pipeline starts with the keyword pipeline. Okay, declarative pipeline starts with the keyword pipeline, and the scripted pipeline starts with the keyword node. Okay, here scripted pipeline starts with the keyword node, and the remaining in the remaining body, in the remaining part of the body, uh, mm, the steps are same stages. We are going to have different stages both in scripted and declarative. Scripted pipeline is oldest one, groovy. It is like a groovy language. We are going to write the scripted pipeline in Groovy language, and declarative is newest one. Okay, newest one. And it is easy to that is learn declarative pipeline. Okay, we can easily learn declarative pipeline. So these are the differences between scripted and declarative pipelines. So, so here another type of question you are going to get is what is Jenkins file. The same question you will get what is a Jenkins file here. So you can expect this one also. If you don't have Jenkins files, so before this you are going to get what is Jenkins file. So what is Jenkins file? Jenkins file is the process of automation by using script. Okay, why we are using Jenkins file is to automate our process through the script, to create a pipeline through the script. Okay, so to automate uh, to create pipeline to script. That is the purpose of Jenkins file. In the Jenkins file, we can write in two types. Okay, two types. We can create a pipeline in two types. That is scripted and declarative. Then we know the difference between declarative and a scripted pipeline. So you just go through these differences. Tell two, 3 to 4 differences here. Then they will ask a pipeline syntax for what is a scripted pipeline syntax and declarative pipeline syntax, like that. They will ask pipeline syntax also. Then what is the use of master slave configuration? Why we are going for master slave configuration? Why we are going for master slave configuration? So the purpose of master slave configuration is if we have only the master Jenkins. Okay, if we have only the master Jenkins server, and if the number of projects increased, if the number of projects increased, then the performance of our server will decrease. Okay, performance of our server will decrease. So in that situation, to maintain the performance, what we are doing is we are going to introduce slave servers. Okay, we are going to introduce slave servers. So after introducing slave servers, what we are doing is we are going to distribute the traffic among the slaves. Okay, we are going to distribute the traffic among the slaves. So if we distribute the traffic among the slaves, the performance, we can maintain the required performance. There won't be any reduced performance on our servers. Okay, so that is the use of master slave configuration. Okay, to distribute the traffic of the master server among the slaves, we are going to configure master slave configuration. Okay, that is about a master slave configuration. And here then you are going to have explain security in Jenkins. So can you tell how can we provide security in Jenkins? What are the different ways of providing security in Jenkins? So I think yesterday only we discussed this thing. So in the Jenkins, the different ways of providing security are we are having a matrix-based security and a project-based security. Okay. So through these options, through in the global, through these options, we can secure our Jenkins server. Okay. So through matrix based project based security options. Through matrix based and project based security options, we can secure our Jenkins. What is this matrix based security? What is this matrix based security? Depending on the role of the user, that is for a development team we are going to provide some type of access. For testing team we are going to provide some type of access, so throughout all the projects. Okay, throughout all the projects, that is matrix based security. So in the project based security, we are going to restrict the access depending on the project. Okay, okay. So project to project, these developers or testing team or operation team is going to have different type of access. Okay, these persons are going to have different types of access. That is the access changes depending on the project to project access, type of access changes. That is project based security. Okay, so that is the way of providing security to the Jenkins. Similarly we have LDAP security. We are having LDAP security also to secure our Jenkins. So then, what type of artifact tools you are using? Artifact means here when we perform build operation, we are getting the jar files. Okay, I think you observed whenever we are performing Maven project. Okay, when we are performing a Maven build, Maven clean, all these operations, when we performed, we got a jar files. So from the console output we can observe we are getting jar files. These are known as jar or year or where files are known as artifacts. Okay, artifacts. Now in the real time, what is going to happen is whatever the artifacts we are getting, we are going to store these artifacts in a repository. Okay, in a repository we are going to store these artifacts, and we are having different types of repositories. One is Nexus repository. Nexus is one repository. Then we are having JFrog. So like that, we are having different types of remote repositories. These are the private repositories. In these private repositories, we can store our artifacts. Okay, we can store our artifacts. Why we need this? Why we need to store these artifacts? Because we are going to get different versions of artifacts. We are not getting only single version of artifacts. Okay, developers are going to push different versions, and for every version we are going to perform build operation, and for every build operation we are going to get separate artifacts for separate year jar where files. So to maintain all these versions of artifacts, we need remote repositories like a JFrog and Nexus. Okay, JFrog and Nexus are the private repositories where we can store our artifacts. Okay, so here that is the necessity of Artifactory tool. These are known as Artifactory tools. Okay, JFrog Nexus are known as Artifactory tools. To store our artifacts, we can use JFrog and Nexus. Then what is our DSL means domain specific language like Groovy. Okay, for a scripted pipeline we can use a Groovy language like that. They will ask what is a DSL means domain specific language. Which type of language you used while in the pipelines like that? They will ask. Okay, you can say we used like a Groovy language. We used for the pipelines like that. Then what is upstream and downstream job? So can you explain what is upstream and downstream job? So what is upstream and downstream job? If we are manually creating the pipeline, okay, if we are manually creating the pipeline, if there is a dependency between the projects, if there is a dependency between the projects, then we have to configure upstream and downstream project or downstream job for every project. Okay, so let us consider we are having three projects: project 1, project 2, project 3. Then if we want to configure the pipeline in the sequence, project 1 as a first job, project 2 as second job, project 3 as a third job, then project 1 becomes upstream job for the project 2. Okay, project 2 becomes upstream job for project 3. Similarly, project 2 becomes a downstream job for project 1, and project 3 becomes downstream job for project 2. Okay, like that we are going to configure the pipeline. So while configuring the pipeline, we have to configure upstream and downstream jobs. Then so they will ask how can you configure Maven, Java, okay, Git, all these third-party tools in your Jenkins. So how we can configure means we have to go to global tool configurations, global tool configurations. Okay, in the global tool configurations, we have to add Maven home path and the Java home path and whatever the tools we need, we can add that is the path for our third party tool. Okay, whatever the software we need for that particular one, we have to add. We have to give the name and we have to provide the path. All these things, all these configurations, we have to do. So the first step for this is we have to go to global tool configurations. Under global tool configurations, we have to change the configuration for Maven, JDK, etc. Okay. Then another question you are going to get is what plugins you are using. Okay, which type of plugins you used. This is a very simple question, but this is also a compulsory question. So, which type of plugins we used? We used a Maven Invoker plugin. Maven Invoker plugin. Then we use a Git plugin. Okay, Git plugin is there. GitHub plugin is there. Okay, and we used a Build Pipeline plugin. Build Pipeline plugin. Then we used a Pipeline plugin. So what are the plugins? Just tell all that information. Okay. So you remember any other plugins we used? So here we used a role-based strategy plugin. Okay, role-based strategy plugin, role based strategy, like that. You just say 67 plugins. What are the plugins I used? Just to say, just explain about that plugins. Which plugin for what purpose you are using that particular plugin? You have to explain that thing also. Okay, you have to explain why you are using Maven Invoker plugin, why you are using GitHub plugin, what is the necessity of build pipeline plugin, then pipeline plugin, why you are using. Then we are having credentials plugin also there, credentials plugin. So like that, I can say 67 plugins. Then one of the question you will get is, what is the Jenkins home directory? Can you tell what is the Jenkins home directory? What is Jenkins home directory? So we saw many times we saw this Jenkins home directory. Whenever we create a new project, we are going to get a new folder in Jenkins home directory. So what is the path? The Jenkins home directory path is slash where lib Jenkins, Palette Jenkins. Okay, this is the Jenkins default Jenkins home directory. This is the default Jenkins home directory. If we need, we can change this home directory also. Okay, but by default, we are going to get the Jenkins. The default Jenkins directory is valid Jenkins. So under this home directory only, we are going to get all the projects information under workspace. Okay, under workspace, under workspace directory, you will get the code for your projects. Source code will be source code will present under workspace. They will ask where the source code will be stored in the Jenkins server, like that. Okay, the source code will be stored in under workspace directory. Okay, under where live Jenkins workspace. What are the source code we are having? That source code will be stored here. Okay. So then, what are the different ways of scheduling jobs? So can you explain what are the different ways of scheduling jobs? What are the ways we are having? We saw many types of scheduling jobs. So one is build periodically. Okay. So another one, poll SCM. Okay. And then hook triggers, GitHub hook trigger. Okay. So then we are having build other projects. Okay, build when other projects are built, that is also one type of scheduling job. So mostly the different ways of scheduling jobs, if they ask, you have to explain these things. Build periodically, what is build periodically, how this particular option, how this particular configuration will work. Then what is a Polesium? Another way of scheduling job is Polesium. How the Polesium will work. Then hook trigger. I explained the hook trigger also. Okay, how the hook trigger will work. All these things you can explain. Okay, these are the different types of scheduling. Scheduling is automating. Scheduling is nothing but automation. How we can automate our job. Okay, then where the job code was saved. Okay, where the job source code, where we are getting the source code. Source code will be saved under Jenkins home directory. Jenkins home directory. So these are some of the questions, important questions you are going to get from the Jenkins. So if you have any doubts here, you can ask now. No doubts? Okay, so mostly these are the questions we are going to get here. So any other questions? If you know, we can tell. If you know any other questions, expected questions from Jenkins. So we covered most of the questions here. Mostly you are going to get from these questions only from the Jenkins. Okay. So if you know any questions, you can tell. If you thought we can get live these questions also like that. Okay, next we will start the next topic in our DevOps course. That is, we will start at Docker. If there is no questions from you, we will start at Docker now. Okay, let's see whether we have any other questions from the UI. So if you want to install a plugin, how can you do? What are the different ways of how can you install a plugin? What are the steps you have to consider? So you will get this question also. Okay, how can you install the plugin? How to install plugin? So what if we want to install plugin? What we have to do? So we have to go to manage Jenkins and manage plugins. We have to go to manage Jenkins and manage plugins. Manage Jenkins. Then we are having manage plugins. Okay. In the manage plugins, first we have to check install tab. If it is present in the install tab, then we no need to install. If it is not present in the install tab, we have to check in the availability. Okay, and we have to search for that particular plugin. We can install our plugin. So these steps we have to explain here. Then so how can you add credentials? Okay, they will ask like that only. Yeah, how can you add credentials for your services in the Jenkins? Okay, they will ask like that only. If you want to add credentials, we have to go to manage credentials. Okay, here we are having Jenkins option here. Under Jenkins, we have to go to global credentials. Under global credentials, go to add credentials. Okay, so in the under add credentials, we have to give the total information. What are the information need here? We have to provide all this information to add credentials of our service, our tools. Okay, this is the way of adding credentials. Then, okay, so you will get mostly like that questions only. And another question you are going to get is, which type of issues you are getting? Which type of issues you are getting? Okay, which type of issues you are getting from Jenkins? From Jenkins. Okay. So while we are performing the different operations, that is a build operation, it is not guaranteed that our every build will be success. Every build will be success. Our build will fail. Okay. So our build will fail. So if the build fails, what will be the reason? Okay. Whenever if the build fails, what will be the reason? So different reasons we are having. uh, Due to different reasons our build will fail. The type of reasons we are having here is if the configuration is not correct, our job configuration is not correct. So configuration means, so for maven project, if you want to perform build operation through the maven, we have to install maven in your Jenkins server. Okay, we have to install maven in our Jenkins server, and we have to provide maven home path in the Jenkins, maven home path in the Jenkins UI. If there is a misconfiguration in this maven home path, similarly, if for a Java project, so if you need to install Java for some of the projects, okay, to execute or to build some of the projects, if you need a Java as a supporting software in your Jenkins, in that case you have to give Java home path also. Okay, where you are giving all these, you have to provide all these here global tool configurations. Under global tool configurations, here you will see these options: JDK Java. If you want to add Java, you can add Java, and Git, and Maven. Okay, Maven installation. If you go to Maven installation, and you have to add Maven here, this is our home path. This is our Maven home path. Means in our Jenkins server, Maven is installed under this directory. We have to give this home path perfectly. Okay. If there is any change in this home path, then our build will fail or build will fail. Similarly, while adding Java also, we have to provide a home path for the Java. Okay, if this type of configuration is different, okay, if there is any change in these configurations, then our build is going to fail. This is one way of mm, one way when we are going to get build as failed status. Okay, so this is one way, and you have to explain this as one example. Okay, and if the build fails, how can you rectify, they will ask. Okay, so if the build fails, if your project is fails, if your execution is failed, how can you rectify? And they will ask like that. So mostly what we can do, if whenever our build fails, what we can do, so suppose if you have any project like this, if consider third build is failed, what we have to do is we have to go to console output. Okay, we have to go to console output. From the console output we'll get the total information what is happening. Okay, from the console output we'll get total information. Suppose consider Maven project. Okay, so here this particular build failed. Here this particular build failed. Here you will get why this particular build failed. Error, unknown life cycle, clean package. So here goal, we provided the goal as clean package. That is unknown unknown goal. The life that is a Maven goal. It is there is no clean package goal. No, we missed the space here. Okay, we missed the space here. That's why it is showing clean package is failed here. Like that, from the console output, you will get from the console output. Most of the cases you will get why your particular build got failed. Okay, why your particular build got failed. So this is the one way of troubleshooting our projects from the console output. We can troubleshoot. Similarly, we can troubleshoot from the logs. From the logs. So if whenever our build is failed from the Jenkins home directory, we can get the logs for that particular build, failed build. Okay, from the logs also we can identify what is the issue. Okay, what is the issue for our job failure. So in this way we can troubleshoot our failures. Okay, so this is also one of the interview question you are going to get. Then they will ask about the cron job syntax. In while scheduling the projects, we are going to use cron job syntax. Okay, they will give some scenario in the interview. Sometimes they will provide some scenario. If I want to trigger, if I want to start my project or trigger my project for every 2 hours. Okay, for every 2 hours, how can you provide a cron job syntax in this cron job syntax? Okay, cron job syntax for this. So how can you provide cron job for this? If you want to trigger for every 2 hours, what is the cron job syntax? Can you tell? So in the cron job syntax, we are going to have 5 stars. Okay. So hours means where we have to change. That's in the second star. Okay, the second star we have to give is by 2 for every 2 hours. Like that, you have to be familiar with the cron job syntax also. So that is one way of troubleshooting our projects. Mm, any doubts here? So mostly we'll get the questions from this only. Okay? Most of the cases you are going to get from the Jenkins. So these are the questions. I'm stopping the Jenkins here. We'll start Docker. So in the next class, we'll start Docker. If you have any doubts, you can ask me.